It's a Friday and it means 2 days to the African Cup of Nations, the 33rd edition, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be gunning for a 4th title when it comes to the Continental Showcase. I'm Samson Oloide, and so on that note, I welcome you to the arena, coming to you live from our studios in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm not doing this alone. I've got Seun Ajidagba with me over the phone. He joins me right now. Seun, welcome to the show.
Happy New Year, Samson, and it's a pleasure joining you on the arena.
Compliments of the season, yes. Let's talk about the biggest continental showpiece. It's the African Cup of Nations 33rd edition. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are now in Cameroon. Preparations were not top-notch. At first, we had 6 players, 12, before the camp swelled to about 24, thereabout. But the biggest news is that Odion Igalo is not part of the team. What's your reaction to that?
Before I talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, finally, they will hear a sigh of relief. It was looking as if Cameroon were not going to
host, yes.
Remember, they were supposed to host the last AFCON before it was taken to Egypt. As a result of the expansion of the Nations Cup to 24 teams.
Yes.
Corona came again. Then FIFA came with their Wahala, Gianni Infantino. They wanted to move it, saying they should do. But I love the fact that Patrick Mosepe, the CAF president, stood and said this will happen in January. And all of that things will go less than 48 hours. We're going to see the first game, Cameroon,
yes.
Burkina Faso. You talked about the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yes.
The direction is not seem to write them about. Maybe what works for us is that Nigerian spirit.
Okay.
From the starting of the coach to the appointment of the
technical
director at the Nigerian Football Federation in Augustus Gravon. He has traveled this road severally, but unfortunately the withdrawals of the likes of Mr. Shime,
Dennis Emmanuel,
Emmanuel Dennis,
yes,
it shows that administratively we are not getting it right.
Exactly.
And that's my ground with the likes of Amadou Bifili. They talk too much. Really talk as if the president and also the media officer of the NFF. There is a media department. Somebody somewhere is not doing his job. How did he miss out on the window to apply for Emmanuel Dennis to join up with us?
Yes.
Because this blame, you cannot completely rule out the NFF. You have to blame General, the FCR coach.
Yes.
Because in the first of originally, his name was not there. I mean Emmanuel Dennis. So
yes.
He was not in his consciousness. And the question you have to ask yourself is, what was General, the former coach, high on? Was he smoking something to see that Emmanuel Dennis was taking the blue eye for Watford and one of the best out-and-out strikers in the Premier League? You are not inviting just to be
the report was that he wanted to drop him. That was the report, that they didn't have a good working condition, a relationship, and he wanted to drop him.
That's the aspect I'm also talking about. It's a coaching job. When a player is doing well for a club and is not doing well for the country, then we need to find a way around it. You see Paul Onachi doing well for Gong, he comes to Super Eagles and he starts struggling.
Yes.
Look at what happened to Odion Igalo also. He signed a contract with Al-Shabaab that will not represent
his country. At the time, he had retired from the team.
They went to bring him back. He played against Cape Verde. He played against Cape Verde. So the thing is, how did he not know that this was happening? But in all, they haven't taken baby time. This is a sharp contract from Samson.
Yes.
What happened in 2013? In 2013, we had 6. This is 13. I just hope this will spiral the vibe and the ginger.
Okay.
This new person to say, we want to show that we can also make it happen.
Okay.
Yes, we might not about the female, we might not about the Galo, we might not about the Onachi, we might not about
Emmanuel Dennis.
But we are good enough to do that. And you know what is doing a bit of confidence? Going into the game against
Egypt, yes, on Tuesday.
Second time champion, the most successful team. The last time the one is also in
2010.
Let's not get to ourselves. So Nigeria can still do that. They have not won the Nations Cup, even
more recently than Egypt.
So, in all honesty, if you look at the Nigerian national team, under Kalasku, they are a very good side. But because it's the first game championship,
yes.
Sometimes some teams take time to immerse themselves into a competition. So, from that premise, you can just say that it might just be an open game.
Okay.
Because some teams will only get better in the
second lap of this, yes.
But I think we have enough quality something to get out of the group that has Egypt
Sudan,
Nigeria 3-time champion, Sudan 1970
champions, and Guinea-Bissau. Yes.
Who are no disrespect coming there to make up the numbers.
Okay, we just talked about Super Eagles, and you've talked about the match itself. You preempted me on that one, talking about the match against Egypt. It's our opening match, and we just hope that the lads are able to give a good account of themselves. Now, let's focus on Group E and F as we continue our countdown on the show to the African Cup of Nations. Group E, you have the defending champions, Algeria, and you also have... Do you expect... Well, I don't think it's a brainer, really, that Algeria will pull through from that group, or what do you think?
Algeria, well, give them credit.
Yes.
I'm talking about some coaches that as early as starting off the job, you begin to see imprints of their philosophy on a team.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Rafran they get pressing. Because it's United that they are pressing. They are pressing them down and they are going down. So I'm talking about the coach of the Algerian national team who came after they failed to qualify.
Yes.
Don't forget, for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. And he took them to AFCON in 2019 and they won it.
Yes.
I'm talking about Jamal Belmadi. As I speak to you, these guys are on 35 match unbeaten.
Unbeaten, yes.
They are second behind a certain Italy, who had 37.
Yes.
Before that was halted by Spain in the semi-final of the
UEFA Nations League, yes.
They are a fantastic side. Yes, you talk about Israel Benassa, you talk about Riyad Mahrez, their captain, Batia, Bonija,
talents everywhere.
Going to final. Not too much of a star captain, but they are playing as a unit.
Exactly.
The training match they played against Ghana, they tore Ghana to pieces. And that's not even their first team. So it's a clear indication that these guys are doing everything humanly possible to leave the Nations Cup back to back.
Okay, let's look at the other teams in that group. Talking about Group E, you have Sierra Leone, who are in shambles. The coach spoke out about 2 days ago, said he received death threats regards, the list of AFCON players he released to prosecute the AFCON tournament. And this is a team that they're neither here nor there when it comes to African football in terms of, pedigree. Quick one, Sierra Leone, you also have Equatorial Guinea and Ivory Coast. Do you think Sierra Leone can pull the chestnut out of fire in terms of qualification?
We said Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast,
Algeria and Equatorial Guinea.
And Equatorial Guinea.
Yes, Group E.
With respect to the other teams, I want to say Algeria and Ivory Coast should progress.
Okay.
So we have seen stranger things happen.
Yes.
Yes, Ivory Coast will not be going to
the 2022 World Cup. Yes.
They have missed out. But something they brought on decent players. It will be a shame for them not to stroke their stuff. If you have the highest goal scorer in the UEFA Champions League, in Sebastian Haller,
yes.
You've got Wilfred Zaha, on his day he can wreck a team. You've got Frank Kete, your boy in AC Milan. You've got Eric Bailly.
Yes.
You've got some decent players. The last time they won the AFCON was back in 2015. We all thought
under Hervé Renard.
What?
I said under the guidance of Hervé Renard.
Hervé Renard. I was thinking which staff captain did they drop down all of them? Are they going to go without Yature and all of them?
Exactly.
Are they going to go without winning an AFCON? That would have been a wasted generation. But hey, they came back stronger and they won it. I just hope they recovered from that shock that they are not going to Qatar 2022.
Okay.
They can hold their own. But I expect the two of them to qualify. Algeria and Coast.
Okay. Let's look at Group F. That's the last group, talking about the 24-man team tournament. And you have Tunisia in there. You have Mali, you have Mauritania and Gambia. It seems like a straightforward Tunisia-Mali ticket in terms of the next round.
I agree with you 200%.
Tunisia?
What you have to say is that every team that qualifies for any tournament
yes,
are good enough to win that tournament.
Definitely.
they didn't qualify by virtue of saying they just love that letter G, Gambia, or they love letter M, Mauritania. They qualified by virtue of the performances they put up in the qualifiers. And one would have thought that can also snowball into a good performance at the tournament proper. But hey, straightforward, I'm going for Mali
and Tunisia.
But then, one thing that works for some of these teams is that there is still the escape route of
best losers.
Best loser.
Yes.
So that's what they'll be fighting for. But don't forget, Madagascar beat Nigeria. Madagascar is less than Vega, where
yes.
the office is situated. They beat Nigeria, so you can't be too sure.
You can't rule out any team at this point in time. Okay, talking about the African Cup of Nations, remember we said it's the third edition. More importantly, it has a $16.2 million pool. Shewan is still here with me to talk a bit of football when it comes to European scene. But remember that when it comes to the African Cup of Nations, the winner will go home with $5 million, the runner-up $3 million, semi-finalist $2.5 million, and quarter-finalist will go home with $800,000. For teams that will crash out of the group stage, they are guaranteed of $476,000. So there's so much money to be made for teams and federations basically to improve, football in their various countries when it comes to football facilities. Now let's move on to the European club scene. The Italian Serie A resumed, and yesterday it was a big one. You had Juventus against Napoli as well as AC Milan against Roma. We start with AC Milan against Roma, where AC Milan ran out 3-1 winners. It could have been more, hit the woodwork twice. Zlatan missed a late penalty. It was an overwhelming performance from Stefano Pioli's men.
First game of the 2022, a very perfect way to start at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium in San Siro. They thought AS Roma, who are inconsistently inconsistent
yes.
in football lesson. Jose's side, you don't know what to expect from them. They got 2 red cards. It was really a fighting game.
Definitely.
They got 2 red cards. Even AC Milan bench also got a red card.
Yes, AC Milan.
It was good to see them. Giroud, as early as the 6 minutes,
scored a penalty.
There was a foul from Paniba. That was schoolboy error that gave them the second goal, Messer, and of course that Rafael strike. Although they put them through a deflection from Paniba,
yes.
but they were all over the place. It was as if the defenders were coming from a beer parlor. I mean the Roman defenders, or they were playing for the first time. They don't know each other or they don't understand one another. They were committing schoolboy errors, and we had to capitalize on it. And good victory for AC Milan.
Yeah, talking about the other match, the other big match, it was between Juventus and Napoli, and that was it was Napoli who it was Juventus who had to snatch a draw. It's not good news for Napoli or Juventus, especially who are currently locked on 5th spot when it comes to the race title. So you think Juve are out of the title contention?
Well, you can say that, but honestly speaking, for the guys at Napoli, that's my issue with Luciano Spalletti. They start well, and all of a sudden they just drop.
Yes, the fizzle out.
That was a game and a half, and I mean a game and a half because it was a very cracking game, an entertaining 1-1 draw. They rose into the lead. I mean Napoli.
Yes.
It's fantastic goal, but hey, they could not hold on to that lead despite trying to put pressure on the defense of the Juventus side, who were not using their regular center back,
yes.
the Diniz and the Bonucci of this one. And so I saw Martin Deli, who has not really struck the stuff since joining from Ajax, and Rugani playing as the center guy. And it was good to see that equalizer, Federico Chiesa,
getting the equalizer, yes.
Finally coming back to rescue things for the coach, and I'm talking about Massimiliano Allegri.
Okay, quick one. Let's move away from that to some football stories. Kieran Trippier finally has moved to Newcastle United, and it's £12 million, signed a 2.5-year deal. His wages has not been disclosed, but do you think it's a good move for Newcastle United in terms of solving their right back, vulnerabilities?
Don't forget that the coach is Eddie Howe.
Mm-hmm.
Then assistant manager, tried to keep Bournemouth in the Premier League for
5 years. Yes, 5 years.
But hey, he's not a stranger to Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier, in actual fact, was a former player
at Burnley in 2012.
Mm-hmm. So we like more like a reunion, and they need quality. My question now is the problem of Newcastle. Yes, they have defensive problem because they are leaking in goals.
They're leaking in goals.
The solution.
Exactly.
Because their defenders have not been convincing the Lafayette of this world, Ian Clark, and all of them. But I think it's going forward that they need to get something. Like of Jolinton, Maximilian, Amiron, all of them must actually come to the party. Jojo Shelby must provide that defensive cover in the midfield.
And the injury worries.
So, but I just hope Kieran Trippier can be a quality addition, because I don't want a situation where the richest club in the world
yes
will be playing Rough football. And when I mean Rough football,
championship. Well, let's I don't think that will happen. Let's see how that pans out, though. Still talking about football stories, another news broke forth barely 30 minutes ago, and that's the big one that Aston Villa has agreed a loan deal for Philippe Coutinho, the former Liverpool man, who will be reuniting with his former teammate, who is now the manager of Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard. Quality player, has struggled with Barcelona over the last 2-3 years. He's moved to Bayern Munich on loan. He's been back. He's been everywhere, so to speak. Great addition to Gerrard's team.
I never saw this coming.
I never saw it coming as well.
For a guy that we're thinking was heading to Arsenal and all of that,
you know, or back to Liverpool.
I think that's going to be working out fine since he joined Barcelona. This was a guy that his career was revived at Liverpool.
Yes.
After having a stint of a career at Inter Milan, I remember vividly. I joined up with them in Liverpool. He became a super player, and his exit was like, this boy is too big for everybody to feel.
Yes.
Liverpool adjusted himself and went to Barcelona, and he's doing a shadow of himself. Bayern Munich tried to revive him. He was part of
the Champions League winning team, yes.
That tortured Barcelona.
Barcelona.
He came back again to Barcelona. He's not been able to get himself back. But to think that he will be joining up with Aston Villa is rather shocking. But hey, credit to him. He wants to revive his football career. I don't know, maybe Coach Chiche in Brazil will still be giving a call up, but that will be dependent on the football he's playing. But I never thought he was going to join up with Aston Villa. Seeing Gerrard still leaving Rangers to join up with Aston Villa, he'll be playing a fantastic football, and this is a quality addition. The way he bends to score some balls, some corners,
okay,
he can rewrite it. And they have some good players in the last season of this world.
Definitely.
The Emiliano Buendia, the Danny Ings, hey, quality addition.
Okay, thank you so much, Shinwa Jidagba, for your time on the show this time around. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for joining us with us.
It's always a pleasure to do this with you, Santi on the arena. And I say happy New Year once again to all my family members at iBrandTV. One day, someday, we'll be there live to do what we know how to do that.
Definitely, it will be a pleasure to have you live in the studios. Thank you so much, and compliments of the season too. We'll go on a break right now. When we return, it will be time to talk business. Thanks for staying tuned. It's still the arena, and it's time to talk some business when it comes to the world of sports. Now, we'll begin with sports subscription site The Athletic that has been acquired by the New York Times for $550 million. The Times announced the deal in the news release after the markets closed on Thursday. The deal is an all-cash deal, and it's expected to close in the first quarter of the year. The sale price, though well under $800 million that the executives of The Athletic were asking for, it will mean that investors outside those in the last round raised will see a sizable return when it comes to investments. Now, there are no words on how the two will bundle subs into one monthly or annual subscription, but The Athletic costs $71 per year. And although many subscribers pay a much reduced rate when it comes to that, the New York Times Corporation has a market value of $7.9 billion. And still talking business, we'll now move on to the world of football, where Manchester City Premier League champions have announced a new partnership with Abu Dhabi renewable energy company known as Mazda. Operating in 40 countries globally, Mazda's main stated focus is renewable energy projects in the Middle East and North African region. Although no financial details have been announced, the deal places Mazda in Manchester City's top tier of partners. The deal with Mazda is City's second partnership announced with an Abu Dhabi-based business since the turn of the year, which is after the Emirates Palace deal that revealed the club's official luxury hotel partner on the 4th of January. The partnerships were signed prior to the change in the Premier League sponsorship regulations in December and therefore did not go through the board of the English top flight's approval as an associated party transaction. Now we'll move over to China, where, having projected over the summer that it aims to grow its sports industry into a $773 billion business by 2025, China seeks to rebound, having announced a $33 billion loss in its sports industry for the year 2020. It recorded a total output of $431 billion in value, which is 7.2% less than its 2019 value of $464 billion. The value of stadiums and other sports venues decreased by 20.2%, while sports agency and design sector saw a 16.9% decrease. A few sectors like sports media and education grew. The report attributed the drop to the ongoing global pandemic, with China as an opportunity to jumpstart with the 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, which kicks off on the 4th of February. Although there are concerns about how much cash the Games can infuse into China's sports economy, with the surging Omicron variant posing a significant challenge, as well as the diplomatic boycotts by the United States, Canada, UK, and Australia. Now we'll move over to the MLS, talking about Real Salt Lake, where David Blitz and Ryan Smith have been confirmed as the new owners of Real Salt Lake after gaining approval from the Major League Soccer Board. The takeover is reportedly worth around $400 million, and it was unanimously approved by MLS Board of Governors. The club's former owner, Del Loy Anson, was forced to sell the team following accusations that he repeatedly used racist language, with the MLS taking over the sales process in January last year. The deal will see Bielsa become the club's governor, with Smith Entertainment Group holding the Qualtrics co-founders' share and serving as alternate governor. Now let's go on a break. When we return, we'll delve into the world of other sports, especially the world of tennis, where Novak Djokovic is in the eye of the storm. Do stick around.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Thanks for staying tuned. It's still the arena. Now we're closing home to the coast of the home. Now we'll take the other sports quickly. In the world of tennis, Novak Djokovic has been in the eye of the storm over the last few days over vaccination exemption with regards to the Australian Open 2022, and his visa got rejected. Now, Rafael Nadal, as well as his former coach Boris Becker, are criticizing the Serbian for not taking the vaccine when he should have. And this is as Djokovic's parents also criticize the quarantine that is their son have been forced to stay in the hotel. Now, it must be said that Djokovic's father and mother had to organize a protest in Serbia, where they had to protest in front of the National Assembly in Serbia just to raise concerns about the safety of Djokovic, who is right now in a hotel quarantine, having had his visa rejected. Now, it's not about the vaccine exemption, it must be stated. What folks do not understand is that the vaccine exemption was accepted, but the visa upon which Djokovic applied to travel down to the Australia was not vaccine exempted free, and that's why he's been denied. He has appealed the ruling, and there will be a court hearing for that on Monday. So by Monday, it will be determined if Djokovic will be deported or not. And there you have the Australian Prime Minister tweeting that his visa has been cancelled because rules are rules. The visa Novak Djokovic used to get to Australia was not the one that would have prevented him from getting vaccinated. It did not have the vaccine exemption. So you have tennis stars such as Rafael Nadal, who is locked on 20 Grand Slams with him, also criticizing the Serbian, stating that he knew quite well, months before the tournament, that he needed to get vaccinated to have a chance to play. So whatever, controversy that has emanated from this, Djokovic definitely has a fault. And you have Boris Becker as well saying it wasn't the right decision that Djokovic didn't get tested. Now, it's no longer it's no longer a sports, issue. It has now become political, as the Serbian president has also spoken out against the treatment of the nation's top star. It's yet to be seen how this will be solved, but I'm sure it will get down to the court, where Djokovic has appealed regards his visa cancellation and will most likely have his appeal heard on Monday, which from the look of things might be rejected and it will probably be deported. But let's see what the court rules on Monday. It will be sad that tennis top star, the 9-time champion at Down Under, as the Australian Open is often called, will not be participating. But by Monday, there will be clarity regards all of this. It's quite a shame it has taken this turn. Now, let's move over quickly to the world of basketball, where the Phoenix Suns made it the 30 wins in the season. They become the first team to have 30 wins this season, and that's behind Chris Paul's triple-double in the match, where the points guard registered had 14 points and also had 13 assists with 10 rebounds. So Phoenix Suns are the first team, and now they top the Western Conference with a game, having seen the likes of Warriors lose yesterday. So it's all about the Phoenix Suns at this time, talking about the race to the playoffs, and let's see how Golden State Warriors respond. Remember, Steph Curry couldn't play last time out. And to wrap up the show, we'll talk about Kobe Bryant, where the Los Angeles County have lost an appeal that they filed to ensure that the lawsuit that was filed by Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, is thrown out. The lawsuit was regards the photos from the crash, which she said caused emotional distress to her, and it wasn't appropriately released. So the case continues, and let's see how that pans out. We just hope that everyone involved will get some sort of solace at this point in time, even as the world of basketball still misses Kobe Bryant. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. That's been the size of the package. I'm Samson Oloyede. Thank you so much, Shinwa Jidagba, for joining me. To the production crew who made this happen, thank you so much as well. And to you, our viewers, as I often say, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much. Till the arena comes your way on Monday, do have a wonderful weekend. And most importantly, enjoy the opening match of the African Cup of Nations.